Yo.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Yo.
Welcome to another show of Ireland Boys Football Talk. You got Sweetie in the house, keep pounding guy, and you got the playoff niner, C Money in the house.
You go bet that partner. What a game.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Boy, I feel good. Jimmy G, Sweetie. Jimmy effing G. Jimmy G. What a game by Jimmy G. What a game by the defense. Like we talked about last night. Them Rams come out there intent to be the spoilers, to be the upset. McVay trying to play for everything he wanted to do. He wanted to beat us and send us out the playoffs at the same time. 17-0 Chidi. 17-3 at halftime. Did we come back and win that game?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking at. I know we were here watching it together. 17-0. Everyone would have counted you guys out. You guys didn't count out. You guys stayed the course, and we can say that you guys are in the playoffs. And next week, you guys are going to be playing
the Dallas
America's team.
Self-proclaimed America's team. Self-proclaimed America's team. We're gonna play them cowboys, father. We're gonna see how gritty they want to be, how good they are. Like I said, we get back healthy, we healthy. We getting healthy. We get back Iman, we get back Greenlaw. You can see the difference on defense today. Once we get on straight, we get back in our defense and the rookie at the end.
They tried
to test the rookie. Pick off the game, seal the game, walk off the field. Get out of here. We walk out the sofa. Walk out.
So, I mean, it was another great final week of football, but it was very entertaining because we watched both all the games and the afternoon games. I mean, we can see on the afternoon games, the biggest shocker to us was the Colts stinking up the joint. Choking. The biggest choke. Yeah, straight out.
Wow.
All they had to do was win, and they were in.
Playing against the Jags.
Which was 2-14.
Outside.
And they made one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of the NFL. And then when you look at it, we had the afternoon games, which we're looking at the NFC. All three NFC West teams were playing for something.
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers were playing for something. I mean, the Bills and Patriots were playing for something. So we had a lot of stuff happening this week. Usually on the last week of football, everyone's looking at resting players and everything, but most starters were out basically into the third quarter. Some starters even played the entire game.
Yep.
So it was
like I said, like we were saying, very exciting going to the final game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, your game went to overtime.
My game went to overtime.
That was huge. That's a huge game. That could have been played on prime time. I mean, nothing is wrong with this one. This one here has some serious stipulations, that the Steelers won the Colts last. If the Colts had win in this game here, it would have been winner goes in.
Yeah.
But now you can have winners go in if they decide to tie the game. So we don't know what's going to happen, but we are going to see tonight what's going to happen with these two teams, and then we'll have our full playoff set. But the NFC is all but set. I don't know if they did the days yet, but you guys are playing the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers are playing the Eagles. And we have another NFC West showdown again, the Rams versus the Cardinals.
That should be a good game.
Yeah, it is.
The Seahawks beat up on the Cardinals today. But I think that Rams and the Cardinals game should be a very good game.
Yeah. I mean, I'll leave that one for Tuesday in terms of we'll get into detail more. But I just want to hear, from your point of view, how did you feel about today and how did you feel about the season where you are now for next week in the playoffs?
So we can start off how I feel about the season coming up, right? My prediction was 11 in 6, I think it was, or maybe 12-5, I think it was. And we started off the season 2-0. Then we went to the Packers. It's just a game that I thought was going to be an iffy game. I thought we could have won the game. But then we just started to fall apart. And we went on a stink of a run after we lose to the Packers. We lose down the, I mean, we lose 5 games, I think it was, down the lane. We lost to the Packers. We lost to the Seahawks. We lost to the Cardinals. We lost to the Colts. So we lose 4 games. So we're 2-4. Then we beat the Bears. Then we lose to the Cardinals. Then we beat the Rams. And I think when we beat the Rams, we kind of went on a run until we went and played the Seahawks, which I thought I know the Cardinals, I thought we'd at least get 1-1 out of that game. Seahawks, I thought we'd do 1-1, but both those teams swept us.
Right.
Only the Rams is the only team that we really kind of we swept them. But we beat, going on the pitch, I think we beat everybody. I thought we were going to beat, except for, I thought we were going to lose to the Bengals for some reason, but we beat the Bengals. But then we turn around and lose a stink of a job to the Titans. I mean, the Titans, I said a stink of a job, no, but the Titans are the number 1 team in the AFC.
In the AFC, yeah.
Without Derrick Henry. Without having Derrick Henry for a while. And guess who they're going to have in the playoffs?
Derrick Henry?
They're going to be an elite team to beat, But,
yeah.
I mean, I happy we make the playoffs. I really thought how the way we were going, we weren't going to make the playoffs.
All right.
We make the playoffs. The team plays solid. I like how D'Amico came in. He handled the defense, even though we were down a whack of, we had a bunch of injuries. We had no corners basically, but we had, we had that still, we had a drive to compete. We still I think we finished out the season with the number 5 defense.
Close to there.
I think we had a number 5 defense. I'll verify that for the Tuesday show, but I think we finished the season with a number 5 defense in the league, which I think is very good. Salah had us number 2, number 1, and then here comes D'Amico stepping in. Yeah, he following in Salah footsteps, but to play without your starting corners against these teams that airing out the ball. I mean, we played Cincinnati, and look what we did to Cincinnati, right? It's still coming in and holding number 5 team. I'm proud of the team, and to me, going into the playoffs, I don't expect to go to the Super Bowl. If we make a run, I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? I think we can make a run, but we'll see. I just think that we handicap. We got to play a lot of teams that have these arrow offensively. Okay, first game, Dallas. Thank God Gallup injured. We've been facing 3 prolific wide receivers, not 2 like Cincinnati, 3, and an elite running game.
But I can tell, okay, all the wildcard teams, you're the one team that none of those division winners wanted to play.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dallas would have loved to play Philly again.
Or the Cardinals, maybe.
Or even the Cardinals, even though they lost to the Cardinals, they kind of match up better.
Yep.
But you guys, you see, you guys going to attack the line of scrimmage, which will show Dallas off. They got to rely on effective run game. If you guys can shut down the run, that's going to be something good. Then you guys got to look out for Micah Parsons, Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, and then you got Trayvon Diggs in the backfield. So
again,
there's a lot.
Yeah, again, that game will come down to who win the trenches.
Right.
Who could establish the run game and who could establish the pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, with Jimmy to get a ball out he had quick. He learned from Brady. 3 seconds that ball out he had. So if you bring that, like tonight, they were rushing Jimmy very hard tonight.
Right.
But you're able to drop that ball off to Debo, to Juwan Jennings, to Ayuk. Kittle had a couple catches, and then our run game got to keep you honest at the same time. You can't just come there running like a bat out of hell, and we have a prolific runner like Elijah Mitchell. One miss and he up the road.
And I think, well, one thing we will say is you guys overcame a lot of adversity. That's what I love about the 49ers. You guys had a lot of injuries to start off. Then you had to deal with this Trey Lance and Jimmy saga. Then Jimmy was injured during the season. Trey Lance had to step in, which we know we didn't really want him in. Then the defense got injured. You guys kept fighting. I mean, Debo took a big step forward. Kittle is Kittle. Ayuk took a big step forward. A lot of person start without Mostard. You guys wouldn't be effective, but Elijah Mitchell took on the load. Then he got injured, and then you had other persons step in too. So through all adversity, we can still say that you guys are probably better than your record states.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
and that's a scary team to face. I guarantee if you go and do a poll and say who is the sleeper team in the NFC West, everyone's gonna pick the
The Falcons.
49ers because they're about 2 years removed from making the Super Bowl, but kind of close to the same team.
Not
You
making the Super
guys,
Bowl. Made the Super Bowl.
yeah, 2 years
Winning.
removed from in the
Winning.
Super Bowl,
Winning the Super Bowl.
right? And then it's kind of basically close to the same team in terms of you have the same people that were there on the offense, close to it. You still got Jimmy, still got Kyle Shanahan, the run game for you got Kittle, you got Debo and those guys. Then the defense is probably close to the same again. I don't know if there's how many changes there were on the defense noted then,
Buckner.
except for Buckner, right? And
We
then I
had Buckner,
mean
and then we had lose Cohen Alexander, but everybody else.
Juan Alexander.
Yeah.
And then you can even say that you got Fred Warner and Al
Greenlaw.
yeah, well I mean Warner was there already.
Yeah.
You had Greenlaw
You had
and
Greenlaw.
Shazier.
Uh-huh.
They are now playing good, and then in the backfield you still got Mosley, you got Jimmy Ward,
Joe Koski Todd.
Jaquaski Todd. So
The
I
only,
mean
the only loss we had really in the secondary was Showman.
right.
Yep.
So the team is still equipped to make the push.
That's what I'm saying. It's just we don't need a big overhaul. We need all we gotta do is every year plug a piece, plug a piece, plug a piece. You know, we're gonna lose a piece, we need to plug a piece. You know what I'm saying?
And I think Jimmy plays well for Shanahan's system.
Right, I agree with you 100%. In Shanahan's
Yes.
system, Jimmy G is a beast in Shanahan's system because he has the quick release. He can read the progressions quick, and he knows where to go to the ball. Yeah, he
Right.
has the strongest arm in the NFL, but running
But
Shanahan's
he doesn't have to.
right,
He
running
doesn't
Shanahan's
need it.
system, you don't need to because Shanahan's scheming your receivers open for you. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So you don't need to do that.
You got playmakers that go to run after the catch. You don't need to throw the ball to them to get it. You just give it to your playmakers and let them do the job.
Right.
So I think you guys are equipped. If you look at the season based for the entire season, how we looked at it, I mean, you had some ups and downs. That's expected of teams that go through injuries, adversity, quarterback dilemma, all kinds of stuff. But you guys, nonetheless, you guys are here. At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. You got to get into the playoffs to try and win.
Right. So
And you guys are here, and that's a hell of a team. And if persons think that Dallas is gonna just go there and beat San Fran like that, well, they're in for a big surprise because we can both look and see Dallas is too inconsistent as a team to go there and say like this week they put up 50 against the Eagles, which I don't care if it's the if it
Second
was
string.
the second string or first string, it was a mixture. They dominated, but then if you go and look at the game against the Cardinals, they laid an egg. Against Denver, they laid an egg. Those teams were pressuring deck.
So Kate, you make a point to me talking all about the game. I say, well, Pana, you leave Dallas for 50 piece of Panya. He said, against my second string, I don't care about that. But how much points did we put up against their first string?
Exactly.
And he lied. Their second string team put up 27 points up against their first string defense.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So put a scenario: if Eagles first string had played, would Dallas have put up a 50 point?
But
would it have been
But Dallas didn't have the two playmakers they needed on that defense though.
Only passes.
Trayvon Diggs didn't play. He was out too.
Oh, he was out. Because
He was out.
But Diggs get
Right.
exposed. Diggs get exposed again.
Yeah, well, we expect that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, he's still somebody that has, 9
Yeah.
things. You still got to look at it because he's a ball hawk will get beat. But he's still that guy that you still have to say, I got to watch out for him. Then passing changes the game too.
Right. That's just like today. Ramsey had a pick today. An incredible pick. He got like 3 times and pick it off. Them guys, like I told you yesterday, them guys gonna get in players, you know.
Right.
they're gonna get their plays. So, I expect if we play when we play Dallas, Trayvon Diggs gonna get a pick, okay. CeeDee Lamb gonna get a big catch, okay. Cooper gonna get a big catch, okay.
Right.
But I gotta consistently give the ball to Debo and run it on your throat. I can consistently give it to Elijah Mitchell running on your throat. I can consistently hit Kittle down the middle and he gonna run over 6 higher. And we gonna win the game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Your 1-1-1 ain't gonna add up to my compounding for the 60 minutes.
True.
So, and like the announcer said today, even though we done 17 up, and he said, I could bet you all my money. Shanahan is not gonna go away from the run game. So said, so done. We will run the ball 17-3. We still run the ball down and through. Then I got tired.
As we watched it, when we saw 17-0, we were like, oh boy.
Oh, but I had done. But you hear me? I said we gonna lose this game. I had done say we gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
And then it went on right before the half, a 64-yard drive, 17-3. Then we get a ball at half, and we come up with that same momentum score, 17-10. Then he throw a pick to Mosley, 17-7, 24-17 with 2 minutes left in the game. Then them score, 24-24. Overtime, Fred wanna win the toss, we get a toss. We went on the field, we should have scored a touchdown, but we settled for a field goal. And them had like 2 minutes left on the clock. And then them come out in our defense, first play, incomplete pass, second play, a sack. Then them get a pass interference, and them had a whole brand new fella down. He want to go deep. Can he see the rookie one-on-one? He want to go deep. And what Stafford do? He throw a duck. Every time us turn around, adjust himself, pick up the ball. That rookie, he's a rookie. He's a third-round rookie. But when he played in college and Michigan, and as a Michigan man, I watch him. He's a very good man-to-man defender. He's physical, and he play man-to-man. NFL speed is different, but he's been out there now for 6-7 games, getting beat, getting kicked up, getting cussed, everything. Last week, he almost had a pick 6 against Houston. This week, he get a game-sealing pick. The ceiling for him, he go up now. He gonna have his test next week because he gonna have to start. We done with Josh. They're gonna be Mosley and Avery Thomas. We done with Josh. Mosley and CeeDee Lamb and maybe Avery Thomas and Cooper.
Sounds right. Sounds good.
So we'll see. But
I mean,
I'm in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's all you could ask when you set your season goal. Unless you are like power team that been to the Super Bowl, your aspiration is make the playoffs. Win your division and make the playoffs. We win the division, okay, fine, but we make the playoffs.
Yeah, and considering how difficult that NFC West is, I clearly could have seen 3 teams make it. Even 4 teams in the NFC West could have made it. Seahawks took a big town.
Yeah, I was thinking all 4. I thought to myself, I thought all 4 could have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that division will be so tight. And I think it could be all 4. You'd have had the division leader and then the 3, 5, 6, 7 would have been the next NFC West.
On paper, it would have definitely looked like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the reality of it, the Seahawks have a lot of decisions and changes to make. But the other 3 teams, they're ready to win now.
Yeah.
Cardinals are ready to win now. Rams are ready to win now. 49ers are ready to win now. So, if you look at it, another great week. You guys battled hard. Congratulations to you guys for winning that game after being down 17-0. You guys made adjustments. I mean, it didn't look like the Rams figured out any adjustments on their side.
No, the Rams went up 17-0 at halftime. They were dapsing. They were celebrating.
Right.
And they thought the game was over to them. They come out firing all cylinders, but they run out of steam, partner.
And you see, that's what hard-nosed teams do, because you guys are very good at dominating the line of scrimmage. It eventually weighs you down.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that the 49ers are very good at. They just keep weighing you down until you're ready to capitalize and
take over top.
That's what definitely happened. And like I said, you're gonna be in the playoffs. Jizzle is gonna be in the playoffs. It's gonna be exciting Tuesday when we talk about the matchups. But I mean, I'll let you enjoy today because That's what you do. You play hard so that you can make it into the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, everybody should enjoy the win today. It's a hard fought, and like you said, I have to give you a public apology. You guys now own the Rams for 3 straight years. That's your public
Yes.
apology right there. I am officially apologizing to C Money for saying that the Rams were going to win and that the Rams will beat the 49ers and that the 49ers don't own the Rams. So I officially apologize.
Apology accepted, partner. Apology accepted. It's hard to do it. So I feel where you're coming from, but like I say, McVick had beat Shanahan, but I don't know what it is, but he can't. You had like we talked earlier, right? And I tell you, they come out here firing on all cylinders. They have everything to win. They were up 17 to nothing. I told you, I said, if we come back and beat them, they're gonna have to start looking at themselves from inside out. Inside out,
Yes,
because
I think changes have to be made.
right, that's 3 years in a row. Shitty. They bring this super team, Van Miller, OBJ. How much catches OBJ had today? Two.
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think he was that much of a big addition. He would have been a big addition with Robert Woods.
Yeah.
Without Robert Woods, it was too much on his plate. He's not that player anymore in my eyes.
Okay, but
So
next year now, they can't keep all the people on that team. They can't.
they're gonna have to make changes. We all know that.
They
And
gotta
even
start-
the line is getting old because what's his name? The left tackle. He with what? It was like 38 years old. He's been playing at a high level, but at 38 years old, you're gonna have to look for a left tackle. I don't even think they have high round picks. They usually trade them to build a team.
but you gotta start looking at your weaknesses. This was his year. I mean, I gonna say this was his year because he's still in it, right? He made the playoffs, so they can still go for what they're coming. But again, their goal set is to make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's
I
their
think
mindset.
with that trade on Matthew Stafford,
Yeah.
it was not playoffs or bust. It is
So-
Super Bowl or bust.
So
Yeah.
if they go in here now, they're playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals beat the Rams in the first.
If
round
they
of
get
the
out
playoffs.
one and done, yeah, then something is gonna have to.
I think McVick got to start looking for a job, partner.
I could be.
It's tough, right? Because you're putting all your eggs in this basket right now, and he hasn't done really well since that one time he went to Super Bowl with Goff.
Yeah.
After that, they didn't really do nothing.
I think that first year, like his offense was much more different than other teams, so they had a trouble figuring him out. Now they figured out the offense,
Right. He
and it's not doing much.
ain't doing much, no matter who you put at him.
That's why I said. Without what's his name? Without Robert Woods,
Yeah.
that team has taken a major hit because people underestimate what Robert Woods does for that team. That team is not the same without Robert Woods. You have Cooper Kupp. He's always going to do what he's going to do. I cannot agree with that.
Yeah.
But Robert Woods opens up stuff for Cooper Kupp as well. It's a lot harder now for that team to get. Cooper Kupp has to more than likely own all his yards now because
he had a big game, He had a good game. He had over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. He had a very good game against us.
exactly. But he has to own it.
Right, but it was only him.
Right. And see, that's my thing because now Robert Woods does so much opening up. It's easier for them. But wow, the Raiders fumble the ball. So, I mean, we can look at it and say a lot of things about the Rams, but like we know, until they lose that game and don't make Super Bowl, that's when the change is gonna be made.
When you're looking at your team, right, and you're talking about Super Bowl and them kind of things, there's a couple things you need to look at first. First of all, you need to build your team to beat everybody in the division. You gotta build your team to beat people in your division. Right now, you can't even beat us in 3 years, and you even try to address that. You went straight out of the division. You want to go Super Bowl, and you can't beat the 49ers. The 49ers, who was 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. You can't beat us, but you want to go Super Bowl. So what do you think? What was his mindset? Okay, I can just take these 2 losses and go.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What if you meet us in the playoffs? What happens if we meet in the playoffs again? You don't think they're coming in there like, shit, we got to play the finals again? You know?
And you see, and then that's what we were talking about just before we came on the show. I was sure that you guys would have to play the
The
Rams
Rams
again.
again.
And if
Yeah.
that was to happen, I think they would vomit. Because they wouldn't want to play. You guys is like you say, I didn't want to say it, but no, you can basically say that you guys own them for real. I have to come to a conclusion. So, I mean, they have to dig deep. That team has super talent on it, but can they all put it together and see what they can do? They have to go through the Cardinals first. And after that, the Rams are the number 3 seed, so they'll have to play the highest remaining seed. If everyone thinks they'll more than likely have to play the Buccaneers if the Buccaneers beat. Actually, no, the Rams are what? Fourth. Rams are fourth.
Then it can't be fourth. Rams can't be
Yeah,
fourth.
it's fourth and fifth. They're fourth and fifth. It's fourth and fifth. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Rams fourth. So if the Rams win, and
yeah, the Rams fourth. Yeah,
the Rams fourth.
Yeah.
So if the Rams actually win, and the number 2 seed and number 3 seed wins, the Rams have to go into Lambeau Field.
Can they the lowest seed? No.
Because they're the lowest seed. Yeah, they'd be the lowest. That's how they do it.
So, but if the Eagles got to play the Buccaneers, if the Eagles beat the Buccaneers, they would have to play the Packers.
The Packers, no matter what happens, because they're the lowest seed.
Right. And if we beat the Cowboys, we got to play the winner of the 4th and 5th seed, which had to be the Cardinals or the Rams. So we probably got to play.
Not necessarily. If you win, you'll be number 6.
Yeah.
If the Buccaneers win, you're playing the Packers
in Lambeau.
If the Eagles win, you're playing the winner of. You'll play
the winner of the Rams and the Cardinals.
Rams and Cardinals. So, that's why I love the NFC. Boy, the NFC has some very good match. I mean, the AFC has some good matchups too. I'm not gonna lie, but the NFC, you gotta give it to them. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just happy you guys are in.
Me too.
Anything can happen now. I mean, the Cowboys, not the Cowboys, the Giants, when they made it in, they were on a shit record and they went straight to the Super Bowl. Yep. They had a stout defense and they ran the ball. You guys have a stout defense and run the ball effectively. Let's see what can happen on either Saturday or Sunday. We're either going to know on Saturday or we're going to know on Sunday. Your interest is in the playoffs. Yep. However, my interest is on Black Monday.
So you lock it up? Did you lock it up? Did you lock up what? The 6th spot in the draft?
Well, yes, we have. But you know, I was going into today with more optimism that we can get that number 5 seed. All we needed was the Giants to beat the Washington. But I have to send a letter to the NFL. They're gonna have to find the Giants for running a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9. If that's the definition of tanking for a loss, I don't know what is. How can you run a 3rd and 9 quarterback sneak? I don't want to hear nobody tell me that is not utter rubbish.
That make no sense.
The NFL gonna have to do. The NFL need to swap the pick or something. Give it to me. But with that being said, we have locked up the number 6 seed from trying the Giants last. We couldn't. Our strength of schedule would have kept us in 6 even if we won. Mm-hmm. So we are now looking at the number 6 seed, which is there's a lot of options that can happen, but we'll go into that into detail. But from my team's perspective, I'm very, very disappointed in the season. Even this game, remember I was updating you all the time. I told you, okay, after 7 points, that's enough. And it's like we could barely score after for a very long time. It's like our team goes out in the first drive of the game, dominates everything. Will score. And then it's like, that was everything the game plan for. So they only game plan for the first drive because after that, it'll go downhill very fast. and we are a terrible third quarter team. The It was 10-17 at half, and the Buccaneers broke out the game on the third quarter with no any receivers. You know Gronk, he had to cover. I mean, we were missing Jeremy Chin. That was a big one. But overall, it's been a very hard, disappointing, frustrating. Um, I don't even know how much words I could use a lot of adjectives about the season. But I mean, it is over now. What do we expect from tomorrow? And so, well, this has reports that Matt Rule is going to stay. He's already started to look for his offensive coordinator, which has to be a slam dunk one. If he does stay, what I'm saying is based on what I heard in another thing today. Until the owner comes out and says he's safe, he is not safe.
He's safe. He's not going nowhere.
But like I said, if that's the case that he's not going, I already told you guys my theory last night. The Matt Rule has to. They said there's going to be a lot of changes coaching wise. Phil Snow is expected back. Matt Rule is expected back, but they're going to shuffle a lot of like the assistant coaches for more coaches that have NFL experience. Yeah. I think that's going to actually boost him because he's had a very, very weak and inexperienced coaching staff. Because you can't just bring everybody from Beal and Temple. The NFL is not that. So he's going to bring more veterans. And he has to nail that offensive coordinator. But we'll see what happens. But from a team perspective, I'm very sad. I'm very confused. I'm very disappointed. I'm very afraid in terms of the team. We have about 25 unrestricted free agents. We gave Sam Darnold he picked up his fifth-year option for some reason. I don't know. That tied up a lot of the cap that we had. We have some key free agents to pick up. And the team just didn't perform. Right? I mean, I watched the game today. Tony Romo was like, somewhat the other guy that was with Tony, I think Jim Nance, he asked Romo, would you bring back Sam Darnold for another year? And Romo, from being a commentator and a quarterback, Romo just looked at Jim Nance and said, be honest, can you really judge Sam Darnold behind this offensive line?
Right.
They don't even block it. They don't block each other. They can't block each other. They don't block anyone. And he made some valid points. And remember, even when we was there talking, I was laughing and saying, Sammy D, once we fix our line, we can take. But this has to be one of the worst lines in the history of the NFL that ever came up. It had to be. It had to be. Our guard play had to be seeing the left guard and right guard play, John Miller and Michael Jordan. That had to be the worst guard play in the history of the NFL. I watched those guys put up them hands to block and just miss everybody every time. So with the Christensen, that was our rookie. He looked good. Still needs to develop, but that's expected. He came from a smaller school. We're going to have to invest. I heard Matt Rule said when we spent 2 years fixing the defense, this year's time to fix the offense. I'm intrigued by it. But am I scared of it too? Yes. But our team has. I haven't seen, even though and I looked at the stats again, we are the number 2 overall defense. Number 2 overall defense. Number 2. And I still think we regress from year 1. Year 1, we were 5-11. And of those 11 losses, 9 of those games came down to none of them came down to one score. A one-score game. We said Teddy Bridgewater was the problem. We went in with Donald, and we got even worse. The offense took a step back. The defense improved, but improved to my liking, I don't think so, because I think the personnel was wrong as well. So there was a lot of mistakes going on. The personnel was wrong. We need big bodies, I think. We need all kinds of stuff, but in terms of the season, we let a lot of games that we should. We started 3. We are 5-12. We are actually 5-12. 5-12. And after starting 3-0. So you do the maths. So we went 3-0. And then the next 12 games, we went 2-12. So if we took out the first 3 games, we would get the number 1 pick in the draft. So without a second round pick and a third round pick, good luck, Matt Rule, trying to fix it. I will give Matt Rule a round of applause today, because that's the last off season he's gonna be in.
Wow.
Because when we fire him next season, and hello, Bryce Young, or hello, CJ Stroud, we are going to be moving on up in the NFL. But there's no hope this season, this off season and next off season, until we make some changes. So the McCaffrey may not be here. That's been a big disappointment as well. But it's tough times for the Panthers. He said it took Jay-Z 7 years to build his empire. It may take 70 years for Matt Rule to build the Panthers. So. What can we say? I'm just glad the season is over. I can't watch no more of those games. It was too hard to watch.
Well, it's after the off season for you, no partner. And we all have our thoughts on what the team need. I think we all agree that the team need offensive line. I think I need to start as soon as possible, as soon as you can, to start signing free agents.
Well, last year, as soon as the off season started, we tried to fix the offensive lineman with Pat Eflin and Cam Irvin. We saw how that worked. So that's why I'm afraid of what they're gonna do this year, because how the first 2 signings in the entire NFL was Pat Eflin and Cam Irvin, like they were superstars. So I'm very, very concerned about what they're gonna do in terms of fixing this line.
Well, we gonna find out, because tomorrow's Black Monday.
Monday.
Vic Fangio has already been fired, which I was kind of surprised on that firing, but
I wasn't, because
what about the GM?
you remember?
What about the GM?
Well, no, he just came.
So that means
this was his first year.
So he probably never did want Vic there, but probably.
The GM just came. His name is George Patton from Minnesota. He drafted Bridgewater, but remember what we would say? There's some persons that are very good coordinators, but just not very good head coaches. Vic Fangio is a terrific coordinator. I think everybody's gonna want him to be the defensive coordinator.
Well,
I just don't think exactly. I would love him too. I just don't think he was the right choice for
head coach.
For the head coach. And I think George Patton knew that. I mean, as George Patton said, everyone loved and respected him in the locker room. He didn't lose the locker room. But you saw what he said in his press conference when he was leaving.
Right.
They asked him, what was the difference between your teams, and just the rest of the AFC West keeping up with him? He said the next 3 teams have franchise quarterbacks, top-tier quarterbacks. My team doesn't. And it's not a knock on Drew Lock or Bridgewater. It's just facts.
It's facts, yeah.
You got Hubbard, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr. I got Drew Lock, and then Bridgewater, which is a gap. That was the difference, and he told you straight up. The difference between the Broncos and that was that.
They were doomed when they had that year when they drafted 2 quarterbacks. They draft Drew Lock and Trevor Siemian, I think it was at the same time.
Something like that, yeah.
Ridiculous. That was ridiculous. It was like, really? What you usually do is you draft your quarterback when you think of your future, and then you draft a veteran that could come up and everything. Or not draft, but pick up a veteran. But you gotta draft 2 quarterbacks?
And none of them were
good.
Were good. That's the problem.
None of them were highly rated, recruited heavy, nothing.
And then, the thing about it should be an attractive head coaching vacancy, because you got Tim Patrick, Jerry Judy, KJ Hamler, Javante Williams, Noah Fent. If you was to get a capable quarterback with that defense that is out there already, I would have. I mean, it would never work. But I was telling Vic Fangio, please, I would pay you your head coaching salary, but I need you to be the defensive coordinator. I just need to bring in a head coach. I just need you to work on the defense. See, the difference is he has to, as a head coach, you got to look at all 3 facets of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. They said that he kept his special teams coordinator, even though persons recommended him to fire him because they were one of the worst special teams. But that was his guy, so he didn't think. Offensive coordinator, he failed on that too. His defense was always good. That's why he's a very good defensive coordinator. But if you look at defensive coaches, for example, I was with one for years, Ron Rivera.
Yep.
He always prioritized defense, and our defense was very good. But even now in Washington, look in Carolina, they have this when Ron Rivera was in Carolina, they have the same problem. They're not good on offense. They're not. They're good on defense. You see the Washington defensive team, that is very good. It's the same thing with Vic Fangio. The only difference with Vic Fangio is he has a really good offensive team in Denver,
Mm-hmm.
but he's missing the one thing that everyone needs, and it's the franchise quarterback. But I'll tell you, if Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers or one of them go over there with that team, ooh boy, that Denver team ain't coming last for sure in that division. Because we saw what they were doing with Tim Patrick and Jerry Judy and those guys. And I think one of them actually tore their AC. And I forgot Cortland Sutton.
Something. Yeah.
So imagine what they could do with a quarterback that is capable of playing the quarterback position at a high level. That would be superior for the Broncos.
Yep.
So we know that the Broncos have a vacancy. We know that the Jaguars have a vacancy. That should be another interesting position because you have your franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. You have another number one pick, which me and you are talking about today in terms of who might they pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they have top 10 in cap space as well.
They should.
Right. But from what I'm hearing is
But that team ain't bad, you know. When you look
it's
at the
young. They're young.
right.
They're young.
So you got Trevor Lawrence. You got
Mhm.
Etienne, who's injured most of the season. He's a young back, explosive
And
back.
and James Robinson, who's
And James
had a
Robinson.
1,000 yards.
Right. You have you probably need a young star receiver.
You still got DJ Chark,
Oh yeah, you got DJ Chark.
but he was injured. He fractured
Yeah.
his ankle. But you got DJ Chark. You have the veteran Marvin Jones. You remember you drafted Leviticus Chenault in the first
True,
round.
I forget about Chanel.
So
Yeah.
you have them. You have Dan Arnold, which is a pass
The
catching tight
tight
end.
Yeah.
So I mean, like me, you are talking about today. Were they protecting Trevor Lawrence enough? They may have to bolster the the
The line.
the line,
Or do you go
but
defense?
or do you go and get that premier defender
The rusher.
to go with Josh Allen on the one side and Kayvon Thibodeau on the other side?
Yeah. You still got Miles Jack up there and stuff like that. I mean,
Or do you trade out of the number one to acquire more assets to build a team? That's another road they can go to. So, based on what I'm hearing from what I read with all these sources, a lot of the head coaching candidates do not like Trent Bach, the GM.
okay, my guy.
He's your guy?
They ain't like him in San Fran either. He would the GM in Harbaugh. He the one with the whole Jim Harbaugh issue.
Exactly. So they don't like Trent Bach. So they're wary of him. So they said that Shahid Khan will have to make a decision on whether he keeps Trent Bach.
I think he fired tomorrow.
Do you think Trent Bach is gone?
I think Khan gonna come in with a brand new GM, a brand new coach.
But then they said Trent Bach was actually targeting Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator for Alabama, who was also the head coach of the Texans.
Yeah.
They're targeting him as the head coach and Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator. Now, if that comes into fruition, that's not bad either.
That ain't bad at all.
Because Bill O'Brien, even though he made a mess in his last year as the Texans head coach, he only made a mess because he had to be GM and head coach.
Right.
But before that, Deshaun Watson was balling.
Yeah.
And he knows how to groom quarterbacks. That's why when I saw the report that the Panthers are eyeing him as the offensive coordinator, I'd love to have him as my offensive coordinator. He can groom a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff that we can see happening, but those are two of the head coaching spots. We got Denver, we got Jacksonville. Those are two attractive spots. We got the Bears. We know Matt Nagy is going to be gone.
He outside.
We don't know. I don't know if Ryan Pace is going as well.
Ryan Pace. Who? Oh, the GM.
The GM, maybe he's gone too.
So who you think tomorrow when we wake up, when the NFL wake up, who you think is the next coach after gone? Lose his job.
Well, I'm hoping that Matt Rule is gone, but that ain't happening. So, okay. So we got Denver,
Ah.
we got Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I think is gone. Matt Nagy will be gone.
I think Matt Nagy will be the next one guy.
He's gone. I do think I think what's his name? I think my Zimmer time is done.
I think he didn't get fired, even though he win that game today. They won that game today. They got to go.
Those are the four for sure. I saw something today said that they're actually gonna keep David Culley, but I still don't know exactly. Let's wait to see what happens tomorrow.
How about old boy down in Detroit?
Campbell,
Yeah.
I think that win, even though it wasn't against Aaron Rodgers all the way, I think they're gonna give him another year. It'll be harsh to actually. You didn't give him much to start with. You can't just take it away from him. So I think he'll be fine. He'll be safe. Let me look at it in the NFC. Ooh, Joe Judge. I know Gettleman will be out. I'm not a fan of Joe Judge. I haven't seen anything of the Giants.
But all that nonsense today need to get here out of there. That 3-9 quarterback sneak, nah.
So he could be gone too.
Yeah, you need to go home for that.
So let's look at it division by division. NFC East, I think Joe Judge will be the one gone tomorrow.
I agree.
I don't think no one else in that division. NFC North, you got Nagy and Zimmer will be gone. I think Dan Campbell will be safe. But Nagy and Zimmer is gone. NFC South, well, my wishful thinking was Matt Rule, but I don't think no one will be gone. NFC West, I know they were talking about Pete Carroll maybe stepping down. I don't know.
That iffy because I think it all depends on what they do with Russell. If Russell leave, I think Carroll's gonna leave too.
I don't think he's gonna want to rebuild. He's at his age and so pedigree. He has to play to win. Yeah. So that's iffy too.
Not tomorrow, but I think if the Rams don't make it, if the Rams get trounced out the playoffs first round, I think it'll be a very long look at McVay. It's gonna be a long look at McVay.
Could be true.
Very long look at McVay.
That could be true. AFC East, you see anyone leaving? Jay Glazer was saying keep an eye on Brian Flores, but I don't think they're gonna fire Flores.
So. No, sir, boy. That team 9-8.
They were 1-7 and came back to 9-8.
Exactly.
You can't fire him, so that's fine. The AFC South, Jacksonville is already open. Tennessee, no. Texans, maybe. Colts, no. Texans, maybe. AFC not. Stefanski. Are we going to get rid of Stefanski? I actually don't think they're going to get rid of Stefanski.
What about Tomlin?
They're not going to fire him. He would have to step away, but I don't think he's going to step away. The team is still good. It was mediocre quarterback play. And let's look at it here. If one of these teams lose, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to step away. And then the AFC West, it's just...
Well, the Raiders already don't have a head coach.
Yeah, and then the Broncos are without one. But keep an eye on this too. Because Brandon Staley, the head coach of the Chargers,
I heard he wanted
this team is built to win with Keenan Allen, those guys.
Yes,
if he loses tonight, his job may actually be in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Because then he's a young coach. They probably needed someone a little bit more veteranist to help this team go to the next top, take it over to the top. So especially if they don't if they lose by just a field goal, fair enough. But if they lose by 20, I think Brandon Staley is fired.
Yeah.
So time will tell on Black Monday. We know we usually get tons load of news on Black Monday. Our phones will be buzzing all the time on Black Monday to see who's gone, who's staying, which coordinators is leaving, and everything. I mean, I'm eager to see when David Temple's gonna come out and talk to the fans to hear what he has to say. I'm eager to see that. But I mean, there's a lot to be told in the NFL. On one hand, there's teams that are gonna be preparing for the playoffs, like you and Jizzle. And on the other hand, there's teams that are looking at the future of the team in the offseason. See, there's two different ways to look at Monday. Monday is I have my opponent. Let's start preparing. We have to start
Yep.
preparing for our opponent. Or Monday is well, I have to sit down and evaluate my entire team, see who needs to come back or who needs to go, and we go from there. Or even if I'm in the building on Tuesday, as I might be fired on Monday. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. Ooh, what a play! But what we can say it's been 18 great weeks of football. From time September, we were so excited. I was excited for the first 3 weeks when I was 3-0, and then I never had a smile after week 4. I mean, you've had headaches all along during the season, but you guys overcame, and you guys are now in the playoffs. So, I mean, we have a lot to be thankful for. I mean, the season is coming to a close soon. We're into the playoffs now. Football is going to be scarce compared to how it used to be.
Right, but the offseason gonna be. I think the offseason gonna be real nice. I think we have a
Yeah,
lot
I
to
mean,
talk
we
about.
always because the league pushed back another year, so I mean a week. So the Super Bowl is further,
Yep.
and then I think March 16th or 12th would be the new year with free agency, and then the ending of April you usually have the draft, and then from then after that kind of takes a quiet time
Quiet tongue. Yeah.
because
You, you
you have your OTAs and then
but
training
that's but
camp
that's
is
but that's when
training
you
camp is
have
all the way in
that's
July.
when you have your fingers trying to figure out what's going on in camp, what
Yes.
it looking like, who's the star and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Because usually after the draft, you have your rookie mini camp, then you have your little voluntary OTAs and voluntary walkouts,
yep,
and then you get like June and July are very, very quiet because end of July is when training camp comes up. And then you only have 3 preseason games.
yep.
But like you said, the off season should be very, very interesting. This may be the year that this is probably going to be the year that the Deshaun Watson is moved. We got to see where he's going.
I really want to see where he getting up.
I mean, you can make a play for Aaron Rodgers to actually bolster your team.
I,
I
I, I,
mean,
I ran that scenario by somebody the other day in my 49ers fan chat, and he started licking lips because he understand it's like you have lens. Like I mean you had a story already. I know.
yeah, you have length,
Make
but
make the play for Trey. Jimmy is a free agent after this season.
see,
So
you see what a lot of fans, you see what a lot of 49ers fans should kind of realize and understand. What they need to understand is the team that you have right now is built to win.
exactly.
Right now,
Right
is
now.
Trey Lance a quarterback right now to make them win right now? No.
No.
He's a
Exactly.
quarterback that if you develop him the right way, he will have you in contention for the next 10 years. But to win in the this year, next year, and the third year, you need either Jimmy G full healthy or Aaron Rodgers to take that team. You
Yep.
don't need Trey Lance to start next year because it will be a step back whether or not they like it or not to
And
hear
nobody don't
it.
understand. They don't understand that. They think that he gonna be, but he gonna be able to make them reads. Jimmy sit under Bill Belichick. He sit under Kyle.
Exactly.
He got all this experience.
Exactly.
Jimmy making progression reads, throws when he need to make clutch throws. The rookie ain't gonna do that. The rookie gonna have too much things in his head. You know what I'm saying? But if you put the
Yep.
rookie to sit in season under, okay, he done season a year under Jimmy, and he's still reading from Kyle. So imagine how you make a play for Aaron Rodgers. You go in with we must get Aaron Rodgers mentality, and we get Aaron Rodgers to come to finals to retire as a final in the next 3 years. Sign the 3 year contract. Like I always say, don't know you got Lance sitting under Aaron Rodgers for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers lead us to the promised land. I don't see nowhere else. If Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback, I don't see where else we can end up with our defense
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
It's Super Bowl or bust every year.
Right. So we get there. We win 3 straight Super Bowls, whatever. No, Aaron Rodgers say, okay, I'm done. I don't win enough rings on my fingers. No. Here comes Trey Lance, 24 years old, who sat behind Jimmy, been learning Kyle Shanahan playbook for the last 5 years or 4 years, and he's 24 years old.
So he'll be quarterback for the next 10, 11 years.
6, 10, 12, 15, shit. Brady still playing at 40 something. The next 20 something years, we can have a steady quarterback. And you just keep building a team around this guy who
I
know the
agree with
playbook,
you.
who know the playbook. Know the playbook. You have to force Kyle out of there. If Kyle could win, if we get in rather Kyle could win 3 Super Bowls or make 3 Super Bowl appearances, not even make, but win 2, 3, 1 or whatever. And then bring in Trey Lance, and we keep continuing dominating that division, moving into the playoffs. There's no reason to fire Kyle. There's no reason to get rid of. You got Trey Lance for the next 20 years. He could play till he's 40. If as long as he don't run and take hits like them other guys, he go protect. If he can get protected like how Tom Brady was protected, you got a quarterback for 20 years. Who don't want a quarterback that can be in the system for 20 years? That's good. Tom Brady, Peter Mannings, the John Elways, Joe Montanas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
The Brett Favres. It's just
when your team is ready to win now, don't jeopardize it.
right.
Don't jeopardize it because your ego or the fans. If my team is ready to win now, then do what you have to do to win now and stop worrying about 5, 6 years. You'll work on that after.
But a lot of these fans coming out now, and they never been to the dog years. You see what I'm saying? They come in when the team was already winning. They came in. Some of these fans just started watching the finals in 2011, 2012. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been in that spot where after Steve Young, that after 1992 to freaking 2010, nobody was around. We wasn't doing nothing.
Yep.
Franco wasted his whole career in finals. Make it to the Super Bowl one time or his whole career. And then after that, he was a free agent. And we should have won the Super Bowl that year. We should have won the Super Bowl every year we went to it. I was close games. But
So,
but
I mean, there's a lot
yeah.
that we can see happening. We just have to wait and see what the off season has for us. But as of right now, it's playoff football. Well, one more regular season game, and then the 2021-2022 regular season will be officially in the books. And then it's on to playoff football where you will have Jerry Jones wall. You'll be stepping into Jerry Jones wall and bringing the heat against Dak and that. I don't want to say prolific
Ain't
offense.
prolific. Ain't prolific. It should be prolific. It's not.
Inconsistent offense
It's just
is
an
more
offense.
like it.
Yep.
And then you have the defense that has done much better with Dan Quinn. I mean, you have breakout star Trayvon Diggs. You have, in my opinion, defensive rookie of the year
Michael
and
Parsons.
a finalist for defensive player of the year of Michael Parsons,
Yep.
along with DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, Leighton Van Der Lesch. So, should be a game that we expect to see very good. I mean, we'll talk about it more on Tuesday's show, the preview.
Yep.
But it should be something very special. It should be also something very special for Jizzle going against the GOAT, Tom Brady, with a depleted wide receiving corps. I mean, you'll have Darius Slay and Mike Evans, and then the rest is history. But as Jizzle will tell you, he has some of the worst linebackers in football.
Yep.
Who was going to mark Gronkowski and Cameron Wade. So there's a lot to be desired that the Eagles have to run the ball to be good. But Tampa Bay is ranked second in the entire NFL in rush defense with Big Vita Vea, who got his contract extension, Shaquille Barrett. You got Jason Pierre-Paul, what's his name? Devin White, Levante David. Who? So they may have to beat them through the air.
Can they do it?
That's gonna be a question we'll ask Jizzle on Tuesday.
Yep.
What it's like. But I just want to see whoever watched Carolina Panthers football with me for 18 weeks, you guys have a strong stomach just the way I do. But all I can say is better days are ahead. I'm hoping. We could have been in a worse state. I do think we're in a very bad state. Are we in a worse state than other teams? I think Detroit is in a worse state than us. Other teams, the difference with the other bad teams, I think we're in a better state than the Giants. The rest of the teams that are bad, they don't have a franchise quarterback like us. So like when you look at our Jaguars, they have a franchise quarterback. They can be good real quick with the right coach. The Bears can be good with the right coach. The Jets are building towards something. The Giants suck. The Falcons, Arthur Smith just said this year today that he already said to management that he is not going with anybody else but Matt Ryan next year. So does that change? Yeah, he said that. He said, I am not playing with anyone else but Matt Ryan is my. He went to management and said Matt Ryan is my quarterback next year. And realistically, they can't actually cut him or trade him because he'll have a cap close to 30 million, a dead cap hit. So they have to roll into him with him. Is that going to change their draft strategy, or are they going to build around Matt Ryan for one more season? We don't know. That's a question we'll ask one of our guys that's coming on.
Yeah.
We have a big Falcons fan that will be on. He will talk about the state of the Falcons when he comes on. We'll ask him all kind of questions about it and see what he has to say. But I know Arthur Smith did say he had a meeting with management, with the upper management this year. He said Matt Ryan is my guy in 2022, 2023. I think he has to say that because of the cap hit. But that's probably his last year. But we'll see what he says. The defense is still a mess over there. You had Kyle Pitts, which was good, but you've lost your receiving corps. No, Cardell Patterson has been a revelation. They're going to resign him, but you have now lost your receiving corps with the loss of Calvin Ridley, who, what I told you yesterday, said he wants a fresh start and he wants it somewhere outside of Atlanta. So who can you trade him and get a first round pick or a high second and just get another receiver done? You can. We have to see what's going to happen. So they have a lot of decisions to make as well. That's another team that's not as good. The Seahawks is a team that you have big question marks. We don't know if Russell is going to leave, if what the guy that a tweaker, Pete Carroll is going to leave. I can't remember his name. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to find out from them as well. Washington, are they a quarterback away from being a really good team? That's something that we left to be desired. That's something we'll have to look at in the off season. We know the Giants are just terrible. We don't know what direction they're gonna go in.
Coaching plus.
Yeah, that's true too. But suppose the GM comes in and keeps Joe Judge.
They gotta know. They gotta have to know. Not my team, man.
Exactly. So then on the AFC side of the ball, AFC East, is the Jets going to take that step forward now with Robert Saleh got 1 year under his belt? Will the Jets take that progressional step next year? They can. I know they really believe in Zach Wilson. He was erratic at the start of the season, but he looked like he came into his own mode. They're working on something. They're building on something. They're young. I think they have 2 picks in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And from what it looks of it, they're going to go defense heavy on it. You can get a Derek Stingley. Suppose you got Derek Stingley and Kyle Hamilton, the safety and the cornerback, which you already got a big line.
Yep.
Suppose getting Derek Stingley and Kyle Hamilton. Ooh, boy, I tell you, they would be right back up there. So you'd have them.
That's a tough division, So
exactly. So you're looking at the Jets. They got to keep up because it looks like the Patriots have found their franchise quarterback. When everyone thought it's going to take a while for the Patriots to get back up, bam, they're just back in the playoffs.
That's Belichick, boy.
So what is going to be the state of that division? Is it going to be the Bills versus the Patriots for the next years to come? Is Miami actually going to pull the trigger on Deshaun Watson?
I don't see why, but okay. 2 are playing good.
Yeah, but does everyone in the building think towards the guy to carry them over the top?
2 ain't do a damn thing that would have them not to think that.
Well, I mean, we haven't watched enough games to say.
Like I say, during the offseason, I start sitting and watching some film studies and stuff. We're watching these teams,
because let's look at it this way: if he didn't have those cases towards him, he would have been a Dolphin by now.
True.
He was going to be a Dolphin. The only thing held it up was the cases, and he didn't want out even before the cases. So, what would this Dolphins team have been differently at the end of this season with Deshaun Watson?
With Deshaun Watson in that defense has stay healthy.
Exactly. So, that's a lot to be left to be
I
desired
don't I
too.
don't think I don't think they'll be on the outside looking in right now. I mean they're 9-8, right? That ain't bad.
9-8 with uh they
With the
started one and
defense,
seven.
yeah.
So I mean, out of those seven, you probably would have won four more games with
Deshaun,
Deshaun. So you would have been about 13-4, 12-5.
if the defense has stay healthy too. I mean,
Exactly. So you look at them. I mean, the AFC not what's going to be the face of the Steelers now with their quarterback. Who's going to be the quarterback? Can the Ravens bounce back with Lamar? Can he take? To me, he looked like he regressed, but
he need help. He need help.
I mean, but how much more? How much help? As in what?
Wide receivers.
You got Rashad Bateman that you just drafted in the first round.
I ain't seen him do nothing.
Well, most I don't press too much hard on. Well, he was injured. Remember, he only played about 46 games,
Yeah.
And then you still got Hollywood Brown. That's the one that's gonna be the deep threat. Then you got Samuel Watkins, the intermediate. You still got Mark Andrews. I think J.K. Dobbins hurt them a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he was gonna be the bell cow. I think the team is good. They just battled too much injury. And then when you lose Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey for the year,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
two shutdown corners, there's no way to recover from that. You can't do what you can do. Because they play man-to-man all the time and let the Ravens blitz more than any team around here. So can they get healthy again? We don't know. The Bengals, that's a team you got to look at. The Browns, which is a huge disappointment. You remember what we were talking about? Is there going to be a quarterback better than Baker to lead the Browns? Well, the Browns answered that question for us. No. He's going to be back next year.
Yep.
There's no quarterback that can lead the Browns better than Ting. So he's going to be back. What is the state of the Browns? It's so hard to predict. Because on paper, they should be in the Super Bowl.
Should be.
But we don't know what to think. Then you got the Texans. They're going to trade Deshaun. Got to stockpile some picks. Is Davis Mills the franchise? We're going to
I
see
would.
what they do.
I would stick with Davis and build a team around him.
Exactly.
That's what I
Trading
would.
Deshaun going to get you about 2 or 3 first-round picks. You can get a high-impact player. You
Mhm.
can get some more picks. You can build that team. You already got the number 3 pick. So, and then imagine getting 2 more first-round picks. Plus, they still want a player or 2. So the team can change very fast. The Colts, they missed the playoffs on a huge choke game. What they're gonna be is Vince ready to take off in year 2 of Frank Wright? I do think so. Jonathan Taylor, MVP candidate. What is the outcome for them? You got who else? Jacksonville. We got to see who's their coach. The AFC West. What's gonna be the outcome for the Broncos? We got
Mhm.
to see what's the outcome of this game here tonight.
Yeah. What the outcome is going to be for
Oh,
the Raiders as well? Because the Raiders still have.
exactly. And I know I've been missing out a team for the whole night that we didn't talk about that missed the playoffs because you guys won, the Saints.
Oh,
The Saints have a top 5 defense.
yeah.
Their
He's
biggest downfall was the
quarterback.
offensive side of the quarterback play. Now the problem with the Saints is they're 60 million over the cap.
Finish.
So they're gonna have to do a lot of cuts. They're gonna lose Teron Armstead, their left tackle. They're gonna do. I don't know. The Saints want a quarterback because Taysom Hill is not an answer. They're gonna have to do something like that. They may bring back Jameis Winston. He was playing okay,
Yeah.
and then remember they played the entire season without Michael Thomas.
True.
But I think that relationship is dead. Because remember, he could have gotten the surgery in the off
Yep.
season.
Yep.
He waited till the season, so I think they're probably gonna trade him to get picks.
Yeah. Cap space.
Well, picks and cap space. And they're gonna be this right now. They're 60 million over the cap, so they have to do a lot of wheeling and dealing. But there is going to be a lot of stuff happening with the NFL, with the teams. What is it going to be? We don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
The only thing we will see most of the time is, for now, we'll see coaches get let go, coordinators get let go. We'll see coaching interviews, and then you still have your playoff football. So you don't really see much until the
After
Super Bowl
after Super Bowl,
finishes.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Right now, we'll just see interviews. Someone may make a hire or two. Good for them. I want to see what the Panthers going to do on the offensive side with the coordinators, the assistant coaches. So be it. And then, but I don't want us to look too much into the off season for them because you guys are still in the playoffs. It's
Right.
all about you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about playoffs. Keep playoffs up.
Yeah. It's all
So
about you guys that makes the playoffs. And then Tuesday, we'll run through every single game that's taking place on the weekend
yep, and we go
and
through
give our
our
predictions.
picks that we for this week.
Yeah, we go through our I
Uh,
probably last this week with all these nonsense that happening here.
we'll go through our most valuable players for AFC, NFC, and the trash bag of the week.
And trash bags of the week. Oh, I got some trash bags, boy.
So we'll,
A
we'll get
lot
back
of
at,
trash bags.
we'll see that about Tuesday, and then we'll talk about any breaking news that happens tomorrow on Black Monday.
On Black Monday, we'll go through what happened. Yeah, we'll go through what happened on Black Monday.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of stuff for us to go through. We've reached the end of the regular season. It's time to play off football once again. Congratulations to Simon and the Niner gang, and congratulations to K Jizzle and Fly Eagles Fly on making the playoffs. There's some big games. Simon will be playing the
Cowgirls.
Cowboys, and K Jizzle will be playing the Buccaneers. I can't wait for their preview of their games on Tuesday because one of them will be playing on Saturday.
Yeah. So
One of you guys will be playing on Saturday. I don't know who, but one of you will be playing on Saturday.
yep.
So we'll have our preview for that game on Tuesday, and we'll have our prediction on Tuesday of that game. But again, what everyone's been waiting for, you play the game to get into the playoffs and try to win the Super Bowl. Two of our three teams achieved that. The Panthers achieved it after week 3, but after week 3, that was it. So I just have to look on the outside for now, but I will let my guys have their glory because that's what we've been working at for the entire year, making the playoffs. And we can say that two of our teams have done it. And let's see what you guys do in the playoffs. Can the 49ers make this? I don't want to say a Cinderella run because if you look at that team
Yeah,
is
I don't see that.
like
I don't see I
yeah,
was
that team is like a division team.
I think the Eagles is more of a Cinderella team than
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So can the 49ers make that dominant run like they did 2 years ago?
Yep.
Or can the Eagles actually make this Cinderella run with Jalen Hurts? That will be left to see on Tuesday when we get back K Jizzle, and once Simonet goes into more detail, he'll have to break down that game for us. What he sees from Dallas that is good and what is tricky for them to deal with, and what he sees that the 49ers can take advantage of. We'll have some in-depth previews on Saturday playoffs. We don't have to go through too much games now, so we'll do some in-depth previews from Simone when he talks about his Niner Nation against the Cowboys.
Yes, sir. So all right, we kind of wrap it up here,
Yep,
and then we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
for sure. We're gonna see you guys on Tuesday for another show of Island Bar. Thank you guys for sticking with us throughout the weeks, regular season weeks. Now it's time for the serious business, playoff weeks.
Peace out.
Peace.